So today we are going to solve a LeetCode and Biweekly Contest. So hey everyone, welcome back, and I hope you guys are doing well. So without wasting time, let's get started with the problems, and we are going to solve problem of both the contest, LeetCode weekly and the Biweekly contest as well. So let's start with the first problem of weekly contest, right? So the first problem is easy. It's pretty easy problem. Nothing too complicated. You just have to do what the problem is saying to you, right? So you are given a string S that consists of lowercase English letters. Return the string obtained by removing all trailing vowels from S. Vowels consist of character. Okay, pretty easy problem. Nothing too complicated. If like in idea, you know that what are the vowels? EA are the vowels, so we just remove them and just return a new updated string. And the important thing is that we just only have to take care of the trailing vowels. We don't have to take care of the vowels which are available in our whole string. So what you have to do, I don't think you need a lot of explanation for it. You just need to like iterate from the left, and you just need to find the index where the current character is not vowels. If it is, then from the starting till that index you just have to return, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm just saying that if idea is a string, right? So what you have to do, you have to iterate from the left, right? You first came at A, then you came at uh, E, and you see that both are vowels, so you don't stop there. Then you came at D, you see D is not vowels, right? So you just break out from it, and you just have to return a string which is ending at this particular index, right? So this is what you have to do. This is pretty simple. So if you see the code, quite simple. I'm just iterating from the back, right? And I'm just checking if the current character is not a vowels or not, and for that I have just created a one utility function, right? And if at any point I got a character which is not a palindrome, or which is not a vowel, then I'm simply returning a substring forming till that particular index. So this is the code look like, and the time complexity is O of n, right? So this is pretty easy problem. I think most of you are able to solve it, right? And if you see, the acceptance rate is also high. So yeah, this is it. So let's move to the second problem, which is more interesting, and it is little bit confusing for you to actually understand, right? A minimum cost to split into ones, right? So you are given an integer n. In one operation, you must split an integer x into two positive integers a and b such that a plus b is equal to x. The cost of this operation is a multiplied by b. Return the integer noting the minimum total cost required to split the integer into n ones, right? Okay, so the problem statement is little confusing. I also not able to understand for the first time, right? But don't get too much overwhelmed. Let's just understand it. What they are asking us, like if the value of n is 3, we have to, like, what the like our end goal, we have to divide the number into ones, right? Into ones. And this is our end goal which we have to achieve, right? And what the operation they have told, we have a given operation where if we are selecting any particular number x, then we have to divide it into a plus b such that it is equal to x, and the cost is going to be a multiply b. So this is the condition which they have mentioned, right? So for the first example, let's see, if the value of n is 3, then how we can divide it. We can divide it into two part, 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3, and what the cost is going to be, which is this one, right? So this is the first thing, right? And you see, we have divided our 3 into 2 numbers a and b, which is fine, and we also got our cost. But you see, we have the new numbers 2 and 1, in which 2 is not a 1. Like, what we have to do, this is our core thing, like we have to divide them into ones, right? So now the same we did for 3, we now have to do it for 2 as well. So how we can divide 2? We can divide 2 by 1 plus 1, and then it going to be become like 1. And if you see, the partition of this particular number is 1 1, which means we are able to find out our end goal. And if you see, what is the number of what's the cost is actually required, which is 2 over here. And if you see, okay, we have to return the summation of total cost, right? Okay, so if you see, for the first we got 2, and for the second we got 1. So if we sum both of them, then we got summation as 3, right? So this is what we have to achieve over here. So it is a little bit confusing, but it is not that. So if you see clearly like how to actually come up with the approach, because problem statement is not clear that much, right? People got overwhelmed by just reading the problem because they are not able to actually get what exactly the problem is asking us, right? So you see what, like, just assume you have a number n, right? So you have a number n and you have to divide a number. At each step you have to divide it into two numbers, right? Two numbers such that right, and you also need to make sure that the product is also the what to say, the cost is also minimum, right? Because for example, why I'm saying is this: let's say if the number is 5, so there are two possible way to divide this. One is 2 and 3, which is also give you the summation of 5, but the cost is 6. And same, there is 1 and 4. If you divide it, it give you a cost of 4. So which one is minimum? If you see clearly, 4 is minimum than 6, right? So we need to also make sure that what are the number which we are going to take that gives us the minimum cost, right? So this is what we have to do over here. So this is it. And how to actually, like, let's see about further, like, for how the calculation or how the steps is look like for this particular value here, right? So we have a 4 and we have to divide it into what we have to divide it, we have to divide it into ones, right? So if you know, like, what is the best way to actually divide this number into such a way that we got a minimum cost, right? So if you see, there are two ways to divide it. So what you have to do at every step, you just have to divide the number and just say find out the division which gives you the minimum cost. For the 4, there is two possibility, 2 and 2, which is also give you the summation of 4, and where the cost is also 4, right? And the another is 1 and 3. If you see, their summation is also 4, but their cost is 3, right? So which is minimum, so we will going to take 1 3, right? So which means our current in our current situation, we have taken a 2 number which is 1 and 3, right? In the next step we take 3 because we have taken a 2 numbers, and from them 1 is already 1, and now we have to make 3 is 1, right? So this is what we have to do over here. Now for the 3, what are the possibility, right? For the 3, if you want to divide it into two numbers, so there is only one possibility, 1 and 2. Either you can write it to one first and the second 1 second, it is going to be same. If you calculate the product, which is also going to be same. So now our new scenario is look like if you see, the new scenario is look like 1 and 2, right? So right, so this is what, and what's the cost is, if you see, the cost is also 2. Now we done with 3, now we have to do it for 2 as well. So how we can divide 2? So there is only one possibility, we divide it by 1 and if you calculate the cost, which is also 1, so you see we are reach at a position where everything become 1, right? So this is what we have to do. And if you calculate this cost, so from first if we calculate from the first, we got a cost of 3, from the second we got a cost of 2, and from the third we also got a cost of 1. So if we calculate the summation, so this is going to be 6. So this is what we have to achieve over here at every point of time. And there is another mathematical trick over here. If you see clearly, right, if you see what we are doing actually over here is, we are just calculating the, like, there is a trick. If you are not able to get it, don't mind, because it's something which come after a lot of so problem you have solved, but the intuition maybe not came to your mind. So if you see, we are just actually calculating the summation of natural numbers. Natural number, if you see, right, how, see, if there is a 4, we just need to divide it by 3 by 2. If we do this thing, we got a 6, right? So if you see, this is what we are actually doing in this particular problem, but the intuition is not that much easy for like everyone to come up with, right? So this is the whole idea behind this particular problem. And if you see the code is look pretty easy, like pretty simple, right? But the thing is, to come up with the approach, it's quite difficult for this particular problem, right? So this is what I'm doing over here is, and what I'm doing, I'm just iterating till the value of n is greater than 0, and every day I'm just calculating. And what I'm doing over here is, if you see, I divided a number, so what parameter I'm using it. So if I have to divide a number x, then what will give me the minimum cost. So I make sure first number should also be the 1, and the second number whatever I am going to take, and the second number will be n minus 1, because it ensures that the cost is always minimum. So this is what I am doing over here. I am taking a first number as 1 and the another is n minus 1. I am subtracting it because I need to find it for the another number, like n equal to 3. I'm just doing it for the multiple time till the value of n is greater than 0, and after that I'm just returning the cost. So if you see, this code is perfectly fine, it is working. And there is one more approach, or you can say it's a mathematical way. N minus 1 by 2, if you run this single line of code, this is not like that, this is 1. So it is also going to work because this is the main idea behind this particular problem, right? So this is it, and the time complexity is O1 and space complexity is also O1, and you see that's a most of people are able to solve because it is more mathematical, right? So this is about the second problem. I hope you are able to solve it. If you are not, don't get demotivated, because it's something, the problem statement is little weird as well, right? So yeah, so just understand the problem today and try to learn something from this one, right? So let's move to the next problem. So this one is a biweekly contest, and the first problem is it is a good problem, like it actually give you a good idea about how to deal with such problems. You can solve this in a various way. So you are given an integer array nums. Consider all pair of indices value x and y from num such that x should be less than y, and x and y have different frequencies. Among all such pair, choose the pair with the smallest possible value of x. If multiple pair have the same x, choose the one with the smallest value of y. Return an integer array xy. If no such a valid pair exists, return -1 So this is what we have to achieve in this particular problem. So what they are saying is we have to find two number. If I just write it over here. So let's say this is our array, and we have to find the pair x and y such that x should be less than y and their frequencies should also be different. So this is the main thing which we have to do. So if you see, the problem statement is quite clear, and you know that how to actually come up with the solution. So what we can do, right? So if you see here, the core idea we are actually looking for is that we just have to check how many numbers are there which is greater than my current number, and they should have the frequencies greater than, or greater than is not the greater than, but the frequency is different than what the frequency of mine correct number has, right? So this is what we have to do. And if you see, the constraints are pretty low. So instead of taking a hash map, we can take a array or array list, because we are going to store a array of inside our answer, right? So this is what this is what I'm doing over here is. So initially what I'm doing is, let's come with this. So I have created an you can say array with 101 size, because the constraints are pretty low. And what I'm doing is, at every point, at every step, I'm just counting. If you see, what I'm doing over here is I'm just counting the frequency of that particular number, right? Just because if you see over here is that they are specifically mentioned that we are actually dealing with the frequency. So at every step I'm just counting the frequency, right? So if you see, let's say I'm writing it over, 1 have frequency of 2, 2 has a frequency of 2, 3 has a frequency of 1, 4 has a frequency of 1, right? So this is it. And now what we just have to do, pick the first number from a given array, and just have to iterate from the back, and I just have to check if this number has a different frequency than my current number. If it is, then it is a valid pair, and I'm generating all the pair, right? So what I'm doing, saying over here is, right, let's say I'm at 1 1 2 2 3 4, right? If I'm at 1, what I'm doing is I'm just iterating inside this one, because I know the frequency of 1. Frequency of 1 is 2, so I'm looking for a number which have frequency more than or less than 2, right? Not equal to 2. So I iterate over the array, and I see 3 and 4 have the frequency of 1, right? So what I have to do, I just have to take the minimum one, right? So if you see, what are the possible pair which are going to be, so the pair is 1 3, and the pair is 1 4, right? So these are the two pairs, and what we have to do, we just have to pick the minimum one, which the value of x, or either x or either y, right? So we will take 3. This is going to be our first pair, and the same thing we do for 2 as well. 2 also have the frequency of 2, and 3 and 4 have the frequency 1. Then our pair is going to be 2 3 and 2 4, right? And among all the pairs, what are the minimum, we just have to return it. And if you see, we have 1 and 3 is minimum, so this is what we have to return from there. If you see the code is also similar what I told you in the problem statement, that I have created an array list, and after that I have created an you can say frequency array of 101 size, because the nums of I length and nums size less than 100. After that, I'm just counting the frequency of each number from the array. I'm just iterating inside the frequency, and I'm picking the frequency of the current element, and I'm just checking for the rest of the elements which is greater than equal to that particular, right? And I'm just checking if the number which I'm taking should have a frequency greater than 0, because initially all are 0, right? So if we don't check it, they might ended up picking up a wrong answers, right? So we are just checking for that as well, and I'm just checking if the current also have a frequency greater than equal to 0, and if they are not equal, then I'm just simply taking that particular and I'm breaking out from the loop, because this is the first minimum which I got, because we are iterating from 1 to end. So whatever the pair we are going to get first, it is always be a minimum, right? So this is what we are doing, and I'm just checking if my answer doesn't contain any element, which means I don't I was not able to find a good pair, so I just simply return -1, otherwise I return the first pair. So this is the code is look like, and if you see, this is working fine. And just let me know the time and the space complexity in the comment section. And this is pretty easy. It's literally implementation based, but the idea is pretty easy. Let's move to the second problem, which is merge close characters. You are given a string s consisting of lowercase English letters and integer k. Two equal characters in the current string s are considered close if the distance between their indices is at most k. Got it? When two characters are close, the rightmost one merges into the left. Merge happen at a time, and after each merge, the string update until no more merges as possible. Return the resulting string after performing all the possible merges. Okay, if multiple merges are possible, always merge the pair with the smallest left index. If multiple pairs share the smallest left index, choose the pair with the smallest right index. So the problem statement is pretty clear. Let's take it each one. Just take this example. So what they are saying is that we have a string, and what we have to do, we have to find a characters which are equal, and their indices difference should be less than or equal to k. So this is what we have to do, and if it is the case, then we have to merge. If we have a and b, and if both are equal, then always we have to remove b, and our new string become a. So this is what we have to do over here. Is let's understand it by the example. See, first we have a, the second character is b, which is not equal to the previous, which we have already seen. The next is c, which is also not equal, because it is the first time which we see. The point we move to third index. If you write the indexes, write it like this: 0 1 2 3. Expand it over here, right? So these are the indices, and if you see the point I reach at 3, you see we already know there is a which we have previously seen, which means we have to merge those characters, and always we have to do what we have to do, always have to merge with the leftmost one. So this is not going to be come in our answer, so our final answer become ABC, because if you see the previous element has index as 0, and the current has the index as 3. If we subtract, then it gives us the result as 3, which is 3, which is less than and equal to k. So this is what we have to do, right? So this is the whole idea behind this particular problem. So this is not that much difficult, I would say. We just have to make sure of the indices of the characters, and whenever we are moving from left to right, so it is basically like we are just doing two pointer. If you see what I'm saying, right? If I am at a 0th index, I know at 0th index it is going to be my part of my answer, so I store it in my answer, right? And I move to B. I see I haven't seen B yet, right? So what I do, I just simply take it in my answer. If I see C, then I also take it in my answer. If I say A again, which means I already and I know I already seen this particular character, and how I'm going to make sure it. So the one way is to iterate from that string from that particular index to the previous, and which is going to be like O of underscore solution, which we don't want. So what we can do, we just create a 26 size of array, which is actually storing the indices, and with the help of those indices, we simply in O of one time we can get what the character frequency is, which we have already seen previously, and if it is satisfy our condition, we simply add it to our answer, otherwise we skip it, right? So this is what we have to achieve it. So it might be a little bit confusing for you to maybe like you are not able to understand what I'm trying to say, but if you see the code, if once you see the code, it make a lot of sense for you, right? So let's see. So what I have created, I've just created a string builder to actually store my answer, and I created a last position array which is store the indices of the scene character, right? And after that, initially I filled with -1 because in our string the indices can be 0 as well, right? And I'm just simply iterating over the string, finding what is the current character and what is the index of that particular character, and what is this look like this is also going, I'm just also storing the current index of from my answer, because the whole thing is that I'm actually considering my answer over here to find out the length and the difference, because every time the string length is decreasing, right? So this is also that is the reason I'm taking this over here, and I'm just checking if the character I have already seen previously or not. I'm just checking if the last position is not equal to -1, which makes sure that it has some values. If it is, then I'm just simply checking if the current difference is less than equal to k. If it is, which means we have to merge this character, so I'm just simply skipping in this particular character, that I don't want to include it in my answer, right? And after that, if it is not satisfy the case, then I'm simply add it into my answer, and I'm updating my indices, right? Because now we are moving from left to right, so that there is maybe a possibility that whatever the character which we have taken a first time may not satisfy the condition in further, but there is some character in the middle, those satisfy the condition, right? So that's why we are updating it every time, and then we are just simply returning a result. If you see, if you run the code, so this is also satisfying all the cases, right? And talking about the time and the space complexity, so time complexity is O of n, because we are just running a single loop, and yeah, it's just running a single loop. And talking about space complexity, so which is O of 1 excluding the result substring which we string builder which we are created, right? So this is what the whole contest is look like, and I think contest is good as compared to the previous contest, because those contests are pretty easy, like even if you have solved 2 to 300 problem, you are able to solve 3 problem as well. But the today contest is pretty good. It actually give you the reminder that okay, whatever you are solving is require more discipline as well. So this is it for the video, and I hope you like the video. If you are like the video, do let me know in the comment section, and if you have any suggestion regarding the videos, drop the comment so that I got to know about what you guys are thinking of. And if you're not able to solve, don't get demotivated, it's just your journey. You will definitely able to solve in upcoming days. So yeah, this is it for the video. Bye bye and take care.